anytime somebody says something about my body or like the way that I appear, I'm like, no, that's not. If your mom's like, oh, looks like you gained some weight. No, I didn't gain weight. Oh, you look so different. Why did you change your hair? Because I wanted to.
Every time Joe would compliment me, I would say, "Are you serious? Are you sure? You for real? Like, no, girl, just accept and say thank you."
Because I used to have a very consumed thoughts about like how my body looks, and I realized I was like, for what? Like, why? I'm not happy. Bodies could always look different, but once I achieve that, I'm probably still not gonna be happy. Instead of thinking like, oh my gosh, like my waist didn't look so tiny and snatched today. Like, okay, but my core is strong, my posture's good, like everything it does for me. Welcome to the You Grow Girl podcast. Today, the trio is back. We have Joe, Uli, and myself here, and we're going to be talking about body positivity, body image, a lot. There's going to be a lot around here with this topic, so gear up for it. I wanted to start this off by first asking us, each one of us, what does body positivity mean to you?
Ooh, Uli, I'll let you go first.
Oh, would you?
I can go first if you want to.
No, I'm okay. So I think body positivity is more like, how do you feel about yourself and how would you want to feel in the future? You know, just like doing good things for yourself and being positive. Even if you're not right now, you could be.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's what it is.
Okay, yeah. For me, I feel like body positivity means being happy and comfortable and confident in the skin that you're in, regardless, kind of like what you said, Uli, regardless of where you're at, where you want to be.
Yeah.
Or if you have things about yourself that you would wish that you would change, is being content where you are and striving for the best for yourself in health, in your mindset, and in the skin that you're in.
True,
I love that.
True. Yeah.
For me, pretty similar to both of you guys, body positivity is me having a full awareness of everything that my body is capable of and celebrating that and honoring that. So it's not related to how I'm actually looking or, like you said, where you're at. For me, completely like what my body is capable of and everything that it kind of provides for me. So leading into that, I also wanted to ask you guys how your understanding and relationship with your body or of your body has changed over time. This could be like a specific time period you want to talk about, or like we can go big, grand scheme of things.
Yeah, that's a good question. So my relationship with my body has changed a lot over many different stages and phases of my life, I would say. When I was in university, that's when I actually started working out. That's when I started like realizing that, I could do workouts that weren't necessarily just sports. In high school, I would play sports, and that was like my way to exercise. But I didn't even realize till university that like you should have an exercise routine and you should stay active daily in order for you to function the best that you can. So during that phase, I feel like I started to kind of like you felt like body positivity in terms of like what my body could do, because I was just discovering it. But that quickly turned toxic and started to like, I used to think about like what my body could look like or what it should look like or how much I should be able to lift at the gym. And so for me, like that, it like changed then. And then again, as I entered a new phase of my life when I was in relationships, I was like, what should my body look like for my partner? What should my body look like in order to please the male gaze,
Yeah.
And then after that, once I found my husband, and shout out to Larry, once I found my husband, I like that thought kind of like settled, even because I felt secure with him. But then after that, I had a baby. And so that like completely changed my body image, because my body became in a state that it had never been in before. I
True.
got stretch marks. I got, extra fat. My breasts changed. Everything about me changed. And so
You're not the same anymore.
exactly. And so like how I felt about my body completely changed. And it was really, really, really challenged during this phase, because I felt so different from any other time in my life. I was very focused on it. And then since then, I've been really working on, like I said, what I feel body positivity is just being content in the skin that I'm in, no matter what I look like or what people think of me. But I've been focusing on being positive about what my body can do and just how I am.
Word.
So a lot of phases, a lot of changes to what I thought about my body.
I feel you, girl.
What about you?
Yeah, I mean, when you become a mom, you're a totally different you're new you, so you have to discover yourself. Like you said, you were trying to discover yourself in college, right? And then you found it, and then you followed that for a little bit, and when you think
Yeah.
you can continue doing that, it's like, well, a whole 360, right?
Yeah.
And then now it's a new you that you have to get to know. And I think that's like most of the women that has kids today, they go through, like me too, I went through that, like knowing that being a mom and my body changed. I wasn't that skinny anymore, because before I was like a little I was skinny, but not so, like I had a little bit of meat at the same time. If that makes sense. But after being a mom, that meat just doubled up, like, and then that just made me feel like very bad for my, like very sad for myself, and just like, oh my god, what do I do? Like I was like different from you. Like I always felt good in my body the way I was before, but and then after I had a kid, I was like, am I good enough for my husband? Is this body like suitable for him or something like that? Like it just felt like really bad for me. So I got thoughts that like, maybe, oh my god, he's gonna cheat on me with some hottie over there, or he's just gonna like leave me because my boobs are falling, and my stretch marks, and my belly, I got a mama's pouch and stuff like that. But he got his daddy belly too, and I was like thank you, Alex. Thank you for being a good dad. But also, like, after that, we talked about like getting better with our routine, and like eating good too, because whatever you eat, if you're breastfeeding, it will go to your baby. So I would notice on Allie, like, I'll eat bad stuff, like hamburgers and stuff, so she would get like gases, or not the hamburger is bad, but like in general, I would eat a lot of it, so she would have gases, and she would have rashes and stuff like that. So just like for the health of, like, for my sake and for her sake, for her health, I was just like, maybe we should cut down. So that's when I started to do exercises with you. You made me change like my whole, like most of my thoughts about health and stuff like that. Seeing you so happy, and Kirra, and like you guys have, because when you start working out and you start having like a body positivity mindset, everything just changed. Like like your thoughts just be like, okay, I'm gonna put this into place, and then that into place, and then like, okay, the physical, the positivity is there, but also is there like the outside, am I feeling good? Am I feeling like, I don't know how to say it. I got lost in my thoughts, but like
That's a great explanation, though.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel that like so that's when everything flipped, like it flipped, and it was
Do you
amazing.
do you feel like what would you say really helped you from having those like thoughts of like, oh my gosh, I don't even know if I feel like my body is like good enough for my husband, to being like now where you obviously we all have our days and our moments, but it seems like all in all you feel very like pretty confident and proud of your body and like happy. Do you feel like it was mainly like a big mindset shift you kind of had to make?
Yeah, but it was over time though. It wasn't like I could be 8 or 80 sometimes, but it wasn't like over time because until this day I struggle doing cardio because it's like it's just a lot, but you have to keep that in your mind that you have to do it. There's no way, that's good for you, for your health, for your mentality. But what did you ask again? Sorry.
What
got
kind of
lost.
helped you shift from that like struggling place to like a little bit of a better place now? So even like you said, it seems like a lot of it could have been mental, like knowing I'm doing this because it's good for me, not out of a place where like,
I had
I don't
to,
like my body, but
yeah, sorry to cut you. I had to understand that I needed to follow some steps. So first, I got in place with some good people like you guys, So first, you cut off some bad people that doesn't make you feel good. That every time you're with them, they make a like something, and they say something about your body. They say something about you personally. I Every time Joe would compliment me, I would say, "Are you serious?" Like I would be. You remember?
I remember a lot
I
of
would
that
be
too.
like, "Are you sure? You for real?" Like, no, girl, just accept and say thank you. You have to thank her and whoever is complimenting you, because that's who you are. Literally,
Yeah,
that's
they wouldn't say it if they didn't think that,
exactly. So that's just who you are. So I started accepting the thank you, and I started complimenting people as well. Cause before, like I would compliment people, but it was just not like um it was just not like I don't know. It's not that it wasn't real, but it wasn't like it didn't felt like real. I just don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, I get it. When
You
you're like
get
coming
it?
from a place of like dissatisfaction, dissatisfaction with yourself, then it's hard for you to compliment other people because you feel so like not good about yourself. That's why people that are like nasty and like say mean things about other people, it's coming
Yeah.
from a place of them not feeling good about
Sour
themselves.
people.
So that makes sense. Like you didn't feel like it was coming naturally or like just coming to you. It was like you had to force the compliment. Is that what you meant?
Exactly. Yeah. So I wrote some things that I did to like, of course I'm in a process still cuz nobody's perfect. So I started focusing on what my body can do. When I started doing the exercises and just like being positive, I'm like, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna F some shit up. I'm sorry. You beep that, please.
You didn't say it.
Okay. So I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna do it. Yes, I'm gonna do it. She inspires me. You guys inspire me. Like all the comments and stuff. I appreciate it. So I was just like focus on my body can do. I was so surprised of how much I can do. Like and like being here doing that plank, I could never do that for 1 minute. I was like, now I can do it for 1 minute. I mean, I'd be struggling at times, but I can do it. I can do it for 1 minute. It's like it's fine. And then so that came out into play. So do you guys know what your body can do?
Oh yeah.
That's been big for me as well. Kind of noticing, because I used to have a very consumed thoughts about like how my body looks. I want it to look this certain way. And I realized I was like, for what? Like,
Yeah.
why? I'm not happy, because obviously our bodies could always look different. But
True.
once I achieve that, I'm probably still not going to be happy. So it took me really realizing like, I am going to do exercise and health and nutrition because it's good for me and because it will allow me to do other things better. So like for me, lifting weights now hasn't become something that I do solely because I want to look a certain way, but because I love feeling strong, or I know, oh my gosh, like I could pick up my sister, or I could carry my mom if something happened to her. Like I like knowing that my body is capable of doing tons of different things. So that's helped me so much, instead of thinking like, oh my gosh, like my waist doesn't look so tiny and snatched today. Like, okay, but my core is strong, my posture's good, like
Exactly.
everything it does for me.
Exactly. That's one thing I need to work on, my posture. I'd be so much on the phone like this.
It
Yeah.
happens to the best of us.
So I also like going back to what I was saying, I also question myself on what I've seen on the media, like on social media. I will feel so bad like seeing girls and like, cuz I like that body that like thick but also in shape. So I would see them and I want to be like them, but I don't have the time, the money, the enough money, you know what I mean? So it, because they live for that. Like think about it, they're athletes, you know? Like they don't work. They, most of them don't have a daughter, or they could have, but they live for that. And I was thinking like, am I really gonna, like, you live for it, you know? Like that's why you have that bang body, you know. But I mean, am I really gonna be like, I could have a decent body, but I can work out, you know, do a little quick workout for 12 minutes, you know what I mean? But also I'm not, it's not real for me, you know. That's not, that's just not real for me right now. But I can take that mama's pouch out, I can do a little cardio and be positive, you know what I mean? Be positive with that.
Yeah,
So,
I'd even like, not to like step on your toes or anything, but I even challenge you to like think about like why you like that so much, like why you aspire like to be like that, and why you think that, you know, oh, okay, I'm just going to settle for a decent body. You can change your mind about what you think a great body is, you know? You can change your
true.
mind about like, you could be like my body, like not mine, but like just be able to say, you
Yeah.
know, my body is the best bod like out there, you know. I feel like I have the greatest body, you know. And it's not that you have to be so centric on that. It's just like not thinking of your body as like a downgrade or like a decent version of what you want it to be. You can think of it as a great thing. And I
Yeah.
think that's what kind of what you said is comes from body positivity. You don't really see it as something that's a negative thing. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
I think that even like to change my answer about your like what body positive I can't say the word. But what body positivity is for me even is being so content with yourself that you don't even think about it. Like it's not even in your thoughts. Like being able to put those thoughts away about that standard and that beauty standard and what society expects of you and what other people think of you and what other people are going to see you as, and being able to put those thoughts away and not even thinking about it as you go throughout your day. That is the ultimate version of body positivity. Being able to
True.
just like, you know, I'm doing my day. I'm not even thinking about it. Like not even thinking about not thinking about it. But you know what I mean? Like going into your day and conquering your day and going throughout your life, and like, you know, maybe you think about it now and like, oh, I haven't thought about like what my body looks like to other people for like months. Wow, I am really body positive because I don't even have to think about it. I'm in a place where that doesn't even matter to me. Like those things, those thoughts about my body is not, and that's so hard for us women to do.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
so
over here
hard. And
thinking,
that's why we
yeah.
have to talk so much about it and be like, oh, like, you know, body positivity, what is it? How can I attain that? And I think that it's a goal worth working towards, having those thoughts not even be a part of our narrative, not even thinking about how we could look or should look, or our mindset towards our bodies. That should like even just be something that's like in order to attain body positivity, we need to be thinking about how we could put that out of our brains and think about all the positive things that we could be doing for the people around us, for the world, like you do. Like you came in today talking to me about how you want to help your church, how you want to grow in other ways, how you want to push other people to be their best, and you want to not even think about the things that are holding you back. You just want to push yourself into it. And those are the things that we aspire to do, and the things that we want to push other people to do. Those are the things that we can be focused on rather than focusing on our body.
True.
Yeah, that's so well said.
Oh my gosh, so difficult.
I know, right?
It is hard.
Even I struggle with it too. Like I say this, and there are days where I'm just like, why do I look like this? And
why am I so bloated?
Yeah. And you do think about your body. It's so hard to think about that. But I do find that I feel the most body positive when I've gone like a few days or a few weeks where I'm like, wow, I haven't even really thought about like what my body looks like, or I haven't been like checking myself out in the mirror like I usually do, which is this, to be 100% honest with you, like that's few and far between. It's not like I go months not looking at my body and be like, oh man, I wish, it's a challenge for me too. It's a challenge for everyone, or most women. I'm not gonna say everyone, but most women especially, it is a challenge.
Yeah, I admire those people that could just write it out with their bodies, look in the mirror, don't think of anything. I just can't do it. Like, I will do it. I won't say that I will do it, but it's just hard. But that's why we're here.
Yes, exactly.
Let it go.
I heard something once, and I didn't think about this a lot before I'm saying it, so I hope this comes out okay. But somebody was saying, I tell myself, what if my body was the beauty standard? Like that's how I should view my body, because even is a beauty standard? Like obviously we have them, but all bodies are beautiful. We all should, feel and be beautiful and understand everything our body does and does for us and celebrate that. Yeah. So it's like, why? It's hard, but what if we could challenge our thought to be like, my body is the beauty standard. Like this is what beautiful is, my body.
And I think that comes from like action. Sorry to cut you off.
I was going to say easier said than done for sure. But
it is so much easier said than done. And I think that kind of comes also from the actions that we take outside of those thoughts. Like when we are more conscious about how often we're scrolling on social media, because that's where we're getting our information from. Yeah. That's where we're seeing, okay, all these people all these celebrities are looking like super skinny right now, or all these celebrities are attaining a big butt or getting surgery for a big butt. When we see these things constantly in our social feeds or on TV or in film, when we're constantly feeding ourselves that, it's so hard for us to, like, it's just put into our subconscious brain. Yeah. So when we take actions to actually be like, I'm going to stop or lessen or really be in control of how much is coming in and how much my mind is absorbing, and my subconscious, I'm not even realizing it's coming into my brain. This is the standard. I am now able to step out of that and be like you said, I am the beauty standard, rather than thinking of the standard that the world has created around us and what social media is saying the current trend is.
That's when you say that, because the standard of the Brazilian community, me being a Brazilian, is those thick legs, big booty, you know what I mean? I know that I always like had somewhat of that, but when I see those women like going to the gym and having those bodies, I'm like, girl. It's just, you know what I mean? So it's just that you're saying, like the standard, the culture, that's where we have to watch out, because in some way our culture be like on our minds, like the industry and stuff like that, you know?
Because you say that and you say like, oh, I've always wanted thicker legs and stuff like that, but when you told me that the first time, I was like, that's not what I'm going for. Like that's not what I have seen as my standard of beauty. That's not something that has been presented to me. I'm not Brazilian. For those of you who think I'm Brazilian, I'm not. My husband is
Canadian.
So I like didn't even understand that beauty standard until you explained it to me, and you were like, this is my culture. This is what a lot of women, in the most beautiful women in my culture, look like, for example. Then I start to understand, oh, okay. And then you realize, oh, it's because of my culture. That's why I'm kind of striving for that.
Exactly. But like you said, like all of those that we were talking about, I already got like almost all of this checked out, you
Yeah.
know? So it makes me feel good. Like I say, like I compliment people nowadays that it comes from the heart, and then I'll do this and I'll do that. And it makes me feel good. I can walk naked in the house without, feeling bad.
Hmm.
And but the only thing is that when I look at my belly, oh my god, it's like so hard to like. I know I have to keep on doing, which I don't. Like I'm being honest with you guys. Should I say this? So, cardio 2 times a week. Yeah, that's what I do. I know it's bad, but it is what it is. It's
It's
what I
not
can
bad.
do
It's
now.
the routine that you're in. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but nowadays, that's just where I'm at. But always trying to get better and be better. And there's another thing. Focus on other people's good quality and looking for the good in everything. So I think when changing the subject, I think when you focus on other people's good qualities, you kind of start focusing on your good quality as well,
Hmm.
besides being that person like, oh, Kirra does this and this and this and that wrong. But don't focus on that. Like, focus on what she does good.
Hmm.
Because I noticed that when I was a little sour back in the days, a couple of years ago, I was focused on a lot of people bad stuff. But when I started looking on the bright side, I started looking for myself and like seeing what the good that I do,
Hmm.
you know? Yeah, so that's
I
what
like that.
you like that?
Yeah.
What do you have thoughts about that? What's your thoughts about that?
I think that's very true and something that I haven't necessarily realized or thought about for a while. Sometimes, like, I struggle with that too. I'm like, oh my God, like, why isn't this happening? Or why does this person say these type of things? What's wrong with them? Not that that's like an often thought of mine, but instead of focusing on, like, okay, this person is just in their own life doing the best that they can in the moment that they have, so why should
Exactly.
I be criticizing that? I should just be focused on what they're doing well so that I can reflect in myself as well. So I really like that thought. What do you
Yeah,
think about that, Kira?
I like that a lot. I feel like that kind of goes back to what we were saying too about like people that say mean things or tend to hurt people are hurting themselves. Like they're
Mm-hmm.
hurt. They're in a hurt position. That's why they do it. So even if we are hurt, being able to look at the positive, being able to look at the bright side of things kind of transforms that into like, okay, I now feel better because I'm not consuming these negative thoughts and words in my mind, in
Exactly.
my, coming out of my
Toxic
mouth.
people,
Yeah.
toxic
And
feed.
something you said earlier that I actually wanted to touch on, a little off subject, but was kind of removing yourself from people who would say negative things about your body, because this is something I know has been so hard for me growing up, more so, not as much now, but often hearing family members say, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to look that way? Why, oh, you look like you've lost so much weight, or oh, you look so different. And it's kind of like, why does every time I see you, the first thing that comes to your mind is my physical appearance? Not
Yeah.
like, oh, I heard this happen at work. That's great. Congratulations. Or, oh my gosh, I just saw that workout that you did. Or, how are you and your fiance? Like, there are a million other things that they even
Conversations.
know about me or
Mm-hmm.
should have interest in. But the first thing that comes to mind is like just my physical appearance. And sometimes that's a hard conversation to have with people too. Really
Mm-hmm.
hard. Like, I don't even know how I would necessarily navigate it. Sometimes I'm at a point where I'm like, that's just my family. Like, that's just, my grandma's 80 something years old. I can try to explain to her, maybe that's just how it is. But I think also kind of, I mean, it'd be great to kind of come up with a positive response to that, or,
Mm-hmm.
a way to address it with people, because it can be really like tough and
Yeah.
damaging having that be like something that's constantly thrown at you, for sure.
Yeah, something that I realized is that, like, when people do that, it's because, again, it's always a reflection of themselves. It's always like they're so focused on their physical appearance that if they see fault in your appearance, or they see that, like, it's not how they would expect you to be, then they're going to comment on it right away.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, that's something that I struggled with as well. Growing up, like when I was much younger, I used to be teased by my siblings that I was chubby, and like they would gang up on me and say like,
Oh
oh, you're
my
so
God.
chubby, like, and like that really hurt. Like as a kid,
Yeah.
I would like cry all the time and be like, because I was like bigger, but I wasn't even that much bigger. When I look back on photos, I wasn't. Like I was just like a little bit chubbier. Like I had like little chubby rosy cheeks, like I had the baby fat, you know. But that really affected me, and then over time I allowed that to like shape how I felt about myself. And because I let that repeat in my head and repeat in my head, it became like
Those thoughts
who I
controlled
was.
you,
Yeah.
yeah.
But then over the last 2-3 years, and my husband will confirm this, anytime somebody says something about my body or like the way that I appear, I'm like, no, that's not. Or like if somebody's like, for example, everybody knows that their moms are pretty straightforward. They'll just say what comes to their minds, right?
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
So if your mom's like, oh, looks like you gained some weight. No, I didn't gain weight. Or, yeah, I gained weight. I've been going through some stuff. Like, really addressing it as soon as that topic comes up and being like, you know, having your say in it while it's of conversation has been very, very important to me.
Yeah.
Anytime somebody says anything that I'm like, I think that's going to replay in my head if I don't say anything, I will say it right off the bat. I'll be like, no, don't say that. Or like, oh yeah, you're right, but da 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 da, you know. And I've found that really helps me because I don't even really think about it after that. But if I allow that person to say that thing and be like, oh, you gained weight, or oh, you know, you look so different, why did you change your hair? Because I wanted to, you know, I wanted to change, and you know, just addressing it right then and there has allowed me to have so much freedom, and has allowed me to control the narrative in my brain and not allow thoughts to repeat and shape who I am.
I knew you would have an answer to that. I'm so glad you did that.
Because all my friends know that too. They know that if somebody says something about me or somebody around me that I know will affect them, myself or them, I will right away come to the defense and be like, no,
That's
don't say
really
that.
good of you.
I'm getting hot. I'm like thinking about all these thoughts and I'm
Toasty.
getting hot.
Yeah, you talking about hair and like changing whenever like people see like aesthetic changes, people that will like to do the aesthetic change and they don't have the courage to do it. That's when they look at
You
girls,
already
right?
no, it's true. Yeah.
That's when they be like that though.
Mhm.
Like, you know, like people that like me being a hairstylist, like I know for sure that people be really mad like when you, let's say, change your hair color and like they don't have the courage to have that hair color. Like they just can't have that, you know. But that's a really good thing about body positivity, like taking care of your nails, taking care of your face, scrub your body, like do your hair once in a while. Like that's gonna make you feel so much better about yourself,
Yeah.
you know, than like every time like I scrub my body, I'm doing a hair mask and then I'm shaving, you know, and then I'm doing a mask on my face. It just makes me feel like a brand new woman. Like I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, body positivity doesn't mean that you let it all hang loose and that you just like look whatever and be like, I'm cool with this. Like you still
Yeah.
gotta take care of yourself and make yourself feel good
Exactly.
and enjoy your femininity and enjoy, you know, your body and what it has. Like still take care of yourself, girl.
Yeah.
You know?
Taking care
Yeah.
of yourself is
I think that
so
even
good.
is body positivity. Like,
Yeah.
I love myself so much that I'm going to take care of myself.
Yeah.
Whether that's through exercise, through exfoliating, wearing sunscreen, doing my hair. But, like, yeah, I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's funny you say that because, like, for example, I remember when you did my hair that one time and you cut it and we did like a big chop and I went natural and I was like, you know what, I love this look. I'm going to stick with this look. This is like my look. I feel great. And there were a lot of curly girls that were like, yeah, like this is awesome.
Yeah.
But then as soon as I was like, you know what, I want something different. Like I want to do blonde and I want to try extensions and I want to, straighten my hair more often.
Yeah,
And I
because
changed my
Joe
look.
was always doing something different in Canada, guys. She
I was always doing
likes to
something different, like
change.
just changing it
Let her
up.
change.
I had weaves, I had all that.
Yeah.
And it's just, I just feel like with myself, I go through so many different phases
Yeah.
and so many different like feelings that like when people were like, when I changed it up, some of those girls who believed in, having your natural curls, which I think is a great thing. Having your natural curls is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. And I experienced that for a nice 8 months, may go back to it in the future. But they would come out of the woodworks being like, oh, I like your natural hair better, And I'm like, so
Okay.
I like my this hair now
That's
because
your
this
opinion.
is why I changed it, So I think that even just being very careful about what you say to other people and what you allow people to say to you,
Yeah.
and like you said, your friends and your surroundings, the way people talk to you, allow like really controlling that, not being like, oh, I gotta control it, but like
Yeah.
be like, no.
Can I give sorry to cut you. Can I give a professional point on that?
Yeah.
When we go to school for hair, cosmetology school, they talk about this lifestyles, guys. Lifestyles. Like Kirra has a lifestyle, Joe has a lifestyle very similar to each other. When you're a fitness gal and you always washing your hair and you're always doing this and that, like we recommend to each one of you to do different things. Like you that's on the other side of the screen, you might need something and she might need something else and she might need something else. So you having curly hair, like, okay, it is beautiful, it was beautiful, but I feel like this hair is so much better for you and for your lifestyle because it keeps you more like up to date, and it's like you could just go ahead and do a quick blowout, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like me, I'm not always like doing exercise like you and Kirra are. Like I'll do one exercise a day, but like I can keep up with my curls. Like
Yeah.
you're so busy with like your business and filming and stuff, so for you to do my routine of curls, like I feel like you'll go crazy. Like
I would, and I was.
Yeah. You see?
Like, and you're right, and your lifestyle changes too. So that's why, like, I'm not afraid to switch it up. I'm
Exactly. Next time is blue, right?
Yeah. Well, I never really do color except for the blonde.
I
but
know.
Yeah,
I'm just teasing.
Yeah, I
It's
love
an
that, to like
icebreaker.
set that boundary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't let people just walk all over you.
But people don't know these type of things, like the professional side of it. Like
Yeah.
they
That too,
really
yeah.
don't know.
You never
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
You never
just
know.
gotta research, girl.
So I think that's a great like way to kind of just like maybe end this conversation, not end this conversation, but like get us into a point where we can start thinking about how we can be you on the other side of the screen, and how we could be more conscious of how we can be body positive, how we can put standards outside of our heads and think about how we can control the narrative in our mental space, and how we can just live our life without letting our looks and our physical shell control
Exactly.
how we feel about ourselves.
Yes.
So if you feel like you took something from this talk, if you feel like there's something that you would like to add to this talk, we would love to hear from you. Send us a message, send us a DM, maybe share on your story something that you learned from this, or something that you would like to add to this. We love hearing feedback. We don't think that we know everything. We don't think
Yeah.
that we have all the
We're just three
answers.
simple girls.
Yeah, and that's why we're talking about it, so
Yeah.
that we can exchange thought perspectives, and so that we can come together as women and encourage each other.
And send us more topics too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love talking with each other and with you
Yes.
guys. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of this chat. We hope to see you again here on the You Grow Girl podcast. And make sure to share this episode with a friend if you really enjoyed it. We'll see you in the next podcast.
See ya.
Bye.